Alright, so we're going to go ahead and draw this right here, and it's 40 wide. Remember, this it says right here that this is in millimeters. So the very first thing you should do whenever you realize that is go to your workspace units and make sure that it is in millimeters, okay? And then next thing is I'm going to make this thing 40 wide, but I'm going to only draw half of it because I'm going to rotate it. And then I'm also going to draw this little taper right here, this chamfer or taper. I'm gonna do that, and it's 5 wide this way at a 30-degree angle. So watch how I do that. So I'm gonna start with just a sketch. I should be in the middle of a sketch, but please note right here, I do not have my circles and squares right here. That means I must have left the sketch when I did something, like when I changed my unit. So just go to your sketch right here and double click, and there, I'm back. Okay, so now all my stuff is here again, all my shapes and stuff. So go to rectangle. Let's start. It's always a good idea to start in this middle spot, and then let's click it. And then I'm going to go to my dimensioning tool, and the whole thing should be 40, but I'm going to make it 20 because I'm going to be spinning it, and it's going to be, so we're going to be in half, it's going to be half that thickness, so it's going to go spin onto this side and this side. So this is half the thickness of the real thing. And then this thing is, I believe it's 30 tall, so I'm going to put 30. Let's just double check I'm right. Yes, right here it says 30 from the top of this fat guy here to the bottom here, so 30. And then I just got to draw that chamfer right here, this little angle. So let's see if I can do that. I'm going to take this line and I'm just going to kind of click that dot and click here and kind of click that line and then click back. And then there I go. I close that shape. And then let's get the dimensioning tool out right here. Right here is the dimensioning tool. And I'm going to click that. See, I'm trying to click this bottom of the triangle, but it's clicking this whole line. You see that? Whenever you have that problem, start clicking points. So right now it's trying to click this entire line. I just want to click this little area right here. So I'm going to click this dot, then this dot, and it's going to do the distance between that exactly. So I'm going to say 5. There we go. Then I'm going to, it's still in the dimensioning tool, which is perfect. And I want this angle from this to be 30. So I'm going to click that line, then click that line, and it knows I'm talking about an angle. And I'm going to say 30, and then enter. There we go. That's exactly what they wanted. But if I'm going to rotate this, I got to clean it up a little bit. It's always a good idea. So I'm going to use this trim tool. It's got little scissors. And click that. And I'm going to click it. Oh, that deleted some of it. Let's click it again. There we go. And let's click this one off right there. And let's click it off again. There we go, because I have 2 lines. There's a dot here, but that's for reference. But there's no line here anymore. So we're good. And I think I'm ready to spin it. So I'm going to check mark this. Then I'm going to go to revolve right here. So now I'm doing a 3D feature, revolve. And I'm going to go to solid. Make sure this is solid. Sometimes it goes to surface. Go to solid, new. You can say add. And then, because I'm adding material. Then face. I want this face. And revolve axis. It won't let me click that. So I notice if I click this guy right here, select this. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then I'm going to push the check mark. Oh, and it just failed on me, of course. Why did it do that? Maybe because I did add. I'm going to put new. Let's see. I think I put add. I'm going to do new. There we go. New did it. So I don't know why add doesn't work. But anyway, let's go to isometric view. There we go. And let's rotate it so you can see that bottom. There we go. Everything looks pretty now. Now let's do this top part. This guy right here. And we're going to start with just this thing. It's 10 millimeters wide and 10 millimeters wide this way. And it's perfectly centered. A 5 off the center. So hopefully I did draw this on the center. I think I did. Right here. So I think I did draw this on the center. Let's see if I did. So I'm going to sketch. And then I'm going to sketch right on this little face. I'm going to click it. But now I got to click top right here to rotate to that. And yes, it is right in the center, which is nice. So I'm going to draw a square and just kind of do that. But then I got to get my dimensioning tool right here, dimension it, and say this side should be 10. Oh, what? See how it does that right here? When that's annoying, and it thinks I'm trying to find an angle or something. So I'm going to click this dot, and say 10. And then I'm going to go from this line and say, and I could have went from line to line before as well, 10. Now I got to center that thing. So I'm going to say from this dot to this line should be 5 because it's half the square. And then from this dot to this line or this line, it doesn't matter which, should also be 5. And there we go. It turned black, which means there's nothing else I can do. There's no other numbers I can add to it. It's what's called fully constrained. It knows everything about it that's possible, and anything else you try to add is going to say you're over constraining it. You're trying to tell me to do more things, but it's fully locked up. There's nothing else I can do to this thing. Um, so then I'm going to say finish right here, the little green button, and then I'm going to rotate it just a little bit so you can. Well, hey, look at that! That went straight to isometric view, and I'm going to extrude this guy up, and I think it goes up 20 if or I don't remember how much. Maybe it's 15. Let's see. Right here it says 15 right there. See, so it's 15 high. So let's do 15 right here, and then let's check mark that. There we go. Now the last thing we have to do is this radius of 5 right here. And that can be done with a fillet tool. So right here, I think that's loft. Here we go. Here's a fillet tool. So fillet will round off and remove a chunk, but it also will add material to fillet as well. So I'm going to click it, and then it's at 5 millimeters right there. You guys see that? So it's at 5 millimeters, which I think is good because R is 5, perfect. Remember, fillets are in radiuses. And I'm going to just, don't click that side. Do not click this thing. Click that line right there. And look at that. I'm going to click this line, and let's rotate this thing around. Let's click that line, and let's see if I can rotate this thing around. Not the whole, just you. Let me make sure I'm doing this right though. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to push check mark here when I'm all done. And I think we're done. Let's go to the isometric view, which is go here, isometric. There we go. And we're all done. I think this is fully complete and all finished. There is actually no other numbers here. We did the radius here. We did this height. From the top view, we did put this correct, this correct. They're both 10 by 10, and it's 5 off and 5 off from the center of that line. This guy is 40 wide. We did 20, and we spun it around to make it 40. And we did take care of this little taper at the end when we did our rotation, and 15 and 30, and yep, and that's pretty much everything they've given us. There is nothing else to add. So if you were to add things like, I want to take this fillet and I want to round it like 0.5 just to make it look pretty. Look at that. You see how it rounded that? That's pretty. You're doing stuff that they're not asking for at that point. Okay? So it does not say to do that. So you don't need to do that.